Last time, our hero fucking died, rebirthed the entire world and made a banging little hut to keep safe in. Now, almost 30 hours into the world, how do we find ourselves in almost the exact same position as where we just were? Well, dear viewer, it all began where we left off. We begin by expanding the mineshaft under our base, spending many days digging it out, and it came back to bite me in my ass. But we'll get back to that later. Now, the true greatest feat of this episode is already here. I made a bamboo farm, which allowed me to make more spikes and became a fantastic source of sticks when needed. Absolutely game.
There was a misinput.
Now, back to the mine situation. Most of you will be wondering, how come you didn't just dig around until you found a cave? Well, for those unaware, the cave dweller is in this mod pack, and that beast would very quickly make short work of yours truly, and that's bad. Now, take into account the tight space and area for mobs to spawn, and that just sounds like a bad time. My plan was to make a very large area, constantly light it up with torches and stop mobs spawning, and dig away at every level, giving myself an advantage against any uninvited guests. And that is exactly what I did. Now I have many hours worth of mining footage, but for the sake of brevity, boom. Now that we'd mined a fair fucking amount, you may think, wow, you must have so much iron, coal, and whatever else is in this mod. But no, I found fucking nothing this entire time. In fact, using the equivalent of 1,600 tons of coal, I was in fact in the negative. Despite my atrocious bad luck, I was finally prepared for a real mining session. But then it happened. Whilst the cave dweller noises for sure made me uncomfortable to listen to, it was eclipsed shortly thereafter by how uncomfortable having a cave dweller in my fucking mind made me. With it spawning in such an inconvenient location and with the adrenaline pumping in my veins, fuck it, let's just go for it. With my first encounter with the cave dweller ending so smoothly, I assumed it was due to the light level and quickly made even more torches. But then, it happened again. And then again, and fuck me, I need a break. Unfortunately, in my best efforts to stay as far away from the cave dwellers, I gave them the best location to track me into. Giving up on my mass cave, I started digging down in smaller quantities. Still 3x3 though, just to give myself enough space. I was nearing Y level 0, and with my luck seemingly improving, I found redstone and diamonds. Fuck! More of those in fucking infected zones. Fuck! With my hope shattered and the fear of cave dwellers constantly on my ass in my mind, I was not exactly in the greatest mood to keep going. But I was not going to let that keep me down. You see, I had plans I wanted to execute, base improvements to implement, and more sections of the mod to try out. Within my base, I began the butchering of the llamas that met their end last episode. Crafting a cleaver and a meat hook, I was able to hack off each of its limbs into different food sources that could feed me for many days. Fuck you, spice of life, this is how you make a better food mod. In the end, the mine that I'd made worked in my favour. With the masses of cobblestone in my disposal, I was preparing for my safety wall that I would construct in due time, as I needed more protection from all the mobs.
Completely uncalled for.
Other improvements I made to my house was this iron door, not exactly in an amazing spot, but far better than crawling out of the shitter of my base. Plus, I still had 2 to use in the future. Surviving another painful night of these zombies breaking and entering, I was starting to feel pretty good about myself. Usually this is where something goes catastrophically wrong, but I was becoming accustomed to this world and its diverse adversity. This was until I realized that I haven't even gotten through essentially the basic tutorial and I had a lot more shit to do. Crafting an engineer's manual, I was struck with the beauty of the tech mods that this mod pack had to offer. seeing a coke oven, something that I was already quite familiar with, I decided that that would be my next goal,
Oh wow, this is just great tech. Oh my god.
as it serves both as a primary way of acquiring creosote oil, something that I need to do for any of the engineering, and both coal coke and charcoal. Fantastic for both smelting and torches respectively.
Clay.
To craft this coke oven, I need a fair amount of clay. Unfortunately for me, I was nowhere near any. I spent hours looking for it and rambling to myself. Be warned, the mic in this footage was completely broken.
Literally right out in the open. Nope. See, that doesn't even usually scare me. I'm just super on edge right now. One bit of clay, I think. One bit of clay. Lovely.
After acquiring an insufficient amount of clay, I knew I needed to go exploring, a surefire way to run into trouble. After a moderate amount of time, we secured the bag, granting us our first coke oven. A joyous occasion that was quickly stopped by the realization that I can't even get steel until I visited the nether. Fuck! With the understanding that I'd have to go back to mining for another 6 hours, I decided to truly go gamer mode. Let me explain. Whilst you all have doubted me, I am a true Minecraft pro, as I have access to forbidden knowledge that no one else has caught onto. You see, if I left this series at just the one episode, I would have undoubtedly have felt that I'd left my mark on this mod pack. And whilst I am incredibly thankful for the amazing reception that video garnered, I have to stay true to my morals. Whilst getting over 30,000 views is impressive, it was simply just the beginning. Soldier, if you are seated, I'm gonna need you to stand up. If you're prone to headaches or migraines, I highly suggest that you get a glass of water and prepare yourself, as I have discovered something truly horrifying, which will forever change the way that this mod pack will be played. And none of you are ready. Alright, here it is. Here's the big reveal. I found a way to cheat in this mod pack. Using forbidden book reading techniques, I can bypass the constraints of my mortal eyes and start to see through walls. By using the Pumpkin Villager's questbook, I look through the walls to find that gamer bread. This forever and completely changed the way that I mine for resources. No longer will I be digging out large, annoying, unhelpful, and inefficient mines. No longer will I be getting spawn killed by the fucker of a mob that is cave dwellers. I was quite the gamer before, but now I am a professional. This is where I ascend. This is where I fucking rise. Now, with a decent handful of diamonds, I craft a sword, pickaxe, and this boomerang, because I thought it was funny. It's actually useless, and with 2 diamonds left, I knew exactly what I was going to do. Use them for an enchanting table, and finally get to a level where I feel safe enough to go outside for more than 8 minutes. And come to think of it, with the benefit of hindsight, those diamonds were literally just a block away from where I was going to dig anyway. And there's a high chance that it's removing blocks where other ores spawn, and really it's just as inefficient as all my other techniques. But let me just bask in this for a moment longer. I did it. Alright, back to reality. This is already the longest script I've ever written, and it's taken me actual weeks to only come up with like 8 diamonds. Fuck. Alright, lightning round. With my new wealth discovered, I use the excess deep slate to craft smooth deep slate, as I'm just that guy. Using said smooth deep slate, I finally got around to crafting my first temporary wall, allowing me to harvest crops and work on stuff outside for more than 30 seconds. Yay! With that out of the way, my next target was to find and kill animals for animal fat so I could craft the Book of Shadows, as I have no idea what it does, but it sounds cool. But what isn't cool was the fact that my guy Herobrine kept possessing all of these mobs and absolutely destroying my ass. Also, when I kill animals, it just has a chance to make me go completely insane and insta-kill me on the spot, or they just blow up and I don't get anything, or they just spawn random pockets of lava. I completely understand why other YouTubers covering this mod pack get so fucking overplaying it. You can be the most careful and slow player avoiding any confrontation and be stuck not progressing, as what you need to progress requires you to do something that has a very high chance to ruin your day. And even if you find a way to more or less keep yourself safe and protected, you can find some of the best gear and it still won't change anything once your sanity is drained. On top of that, everything is just out to kill you. Exploring is just asking for it, but it's all necessary to progress. It's a very delicate line between being difficult and being unfair, and early game progression is just absolutely unfair. Anyway, enough of me rambling, time to get back to my misery. After finally crafting the Book of Shadows, something that I now realize gives me access to flying broomsticks and is absolutely incredible, I was once again left with more problems in the form of the lack of any of these stupid wood types that I can't find anywhere at all. Despite this awful turn of events, we have finally started this mod pack. Yes, 30 hours in, and I can finally feel like I can begin to start interacting with all of these interesting elements in the game, and stop with this victim mentality and start with fucking thriving in this world. This pack is frustrating at the best of times and fucking infuriating at the worst. But after a very steep early game, my dog just coughed then. After a very steep early game learning curve, we can finally set our sights into the future and start enjoying this game. It's goddamn beautiful, and nothing could hinder my experience that I'm feeling right now. From the plethora of ways to play this pack, to the variety of mobs, tools, and so many other things I'm yet to explore, this mod pack might be my favourite thus far. Yes, these pigs are annoying, but it's nothing Man, fuck this, I'm not playing this shit anymore. 0 out of 10, fucking unplayable, shitty ass mod. And very deep.